Good morning and welcome back to our midweek edition of Good Morning North Coast. First up on our lineup will be Heili and Deon, who will be updating us on the weather and surf report. And then on the seat we have the beautiful Claudia Greenwood back in studio with us to inspire us for the week ahead. Our regular and very educational Neville and Helen from Ndlondlo Reptile Park is back to talk about all things snakes. And Maria from Wakatravel is in studio to update us on what they have been busy with and what we can expect. We then bring you an interview with Sharon and Michelle from Mindfit Academy to chat more about how we grew in the past year. Last on the seat, we welcome Diane, Hope and Joshua Daniels to fill us in on their event, the Rise Up Run, coming up soon. And then we will be closing the show on a music video by Stefan, Jansen. We will be going straight into our first interview. So Claudia, welcome.
Thank you.
Now, it is the month of love, so I assume we're going to be sticking with that theme.
Yes, let's stick with that theme.
Sounds okay.
And what I'd like to focus on today is self-love. When it's Valentine's month and, there's a lot of hype around, your loved ones and so on, which is so important. Sometimes we actually overlook ourselves and we forget to put ourselves first and, give ourselves the attention that we need. Self-love is all about taking care of yourself in different aspects. It's taking care of your personal needs. It's looking out for yourself in terms of what relationships you have with people and engaging with people and having good, positive, healthy relationships. Also, how do we take care of our bodies? What are we feeding ourselves? Are we exercising? And very importantly, how do we communicate with ourselves? Because, we're busy with a lot of mental chatter. We talk to ourselves a lot and we say all sorts of things to ourselves. Sometimes we're not very kind. We talk down to ourselves. We limit ourselves because of our thinking and believing that maybe, we can't do certain things or we're not accepted, and we judge ourselves. And when we do this, we really are limiting our potential. So in line with the theme of love and self-love, it's about saying, let's be kind to ourselves and let's start, just acknowledging how we speak to ourselves, and then also what our own personal love language is. You know that we all have love languages.
I've heard of this, but I don't know much about it.
Okay, so there are various love languages. It's things that we associate with that give us a sense of appreciation, belonging, that we're cared for, and we express this in different ways, and we need affirmation, and sometimes it could be even through a gift. So if our love language is gifts, say you like to receive gifts, maybe that's how you express, or you want to express the appreciation. So you might go out and buy gifts and spoil people with gifts because that's what you associate with. If somebody gave you a gift, you might say, wow, this person really cares about me and they love me and they've gone and bought me this. And it doesn't have to be a very expensive gift. It could actually be, they went for a walk on the beach and they found a little shell and they gave it to you. And if you're a gifty person, you appreciate that. Yes. But the thing is, when you give that to somebody else because you think, well, that's what I like, suddenly the expression of that gift it's lost, because maybe their love language isn't gifts. Maybe it's words of affirmation. Maybe they like to be told, I really appreciate you, or thank you, or you're looking great, or you're doing great. Maybe that's the way they express love. Yeah. So why would this be important to us? If we know what our love language is and how we express certain things and how we receive certain information, we can then start treating ourselves in a better way. So if we let's look at words of affirmation. If we like to get positive feedback from people or acknowledgement from people, then how do we talk to ourselves? If we're that kind of person that need that, shouldn't we be saying to ourselves, you know what, I've achieved this, and acknowledge ourselves for it, and in our mind say, well done, Claudia, you've accomplished this. Or, you know what, you've done some extra exercise. Maybe you didn't achieve your target, but you know what, you're doing better.
Yes.
Okay, so how do we speak to ourselves? If you're a gifty person, well, maybe I need to spoil myself and go and get myself something. Just as a treat to acknowledge that I might have accomplished something to encourage myself. Or maybe it's a pamper something or other that I like. You know, go and do that. We do so much for other people all the time, and we need to start focusing on ourselves.
Yes.
Remember that we can only be as good as we are to other people if we're good to ourselves.
Yes.
You know, it's all that deep inner work that we need to do.
Yes.
That's where it starts. Let's process within ourselves. Let's give ourselves time, attention, and when we do that, we can be so much better to everybody else around us. You know, we spoke about the love language. There is a quiz, actually,
Okay.
where you can actually determine what your love language is. And
Oh.
you know what's great? You can get your loved ones to do it as well.
Oh, that's exciting.
Your husband, your partner, your sister, mother, daughter, son, whoever, your friend. There's a quiz available, and if you want it, and if anybody's interested in it, you can just give me your detail, WhatsApp me, if I can share my number. It's 082 55 88817. I can send it to you. It's actually quite fun to do.
Yeah, I want to give it a try. Sounds
Yeah, because
exciting.
then you can start communicating better, you know.
Yes.
And if you realize that your husband likes certain things that you didn't realize, well, then start doing those little things, and suddenly the relationship starts changing a little bit.
Yes, I suppose that makes sense. And I suppose, as you said, it is the month of love, so everybody gets so used to figuring out what are we going to do for our loved ones, for the wife, the partner, the family, that I suppose starting on ourselves should be our initial go-to. But I think in the month of love, Valentine's especially, everyone forgets about themselves, so too focused on other people, all that people-pleasing.
Absolutely, we do that. And you know what? Love should be out there all the time.
It should be.
So-
It shouldn't just be like one day or 1 month. a year.
Absolutely, for sure.
I agree with you 100%. Thank you so much, Claudia, as always, for enlightening us. And I look forward to hearing more on this topic as the month progresses. Thank you so much.
Great.
All right, y'all. Now, after this ad break, please stick around. We've got Neville, who's going to be on the seat with us to talk about some pre-pictorialism, some snakes, and all that good stuff. So we'll see you now.
Good morning everyone, and welcome to your weather for today, brought to you by Belito Gas and Prime. Today will be sunny, followed by clouds and warmer and very humid, with a high of 31 degrees and a low of 22 degrees. The real feel will be 37 degrees and the real feel shade 34 degrees. We have a northeasterly wind at 15 kilometers per hour and wind gusts at 52 kilometers per hour. Also, just 11% chance of showers today. The sunrise will be at 5:37 a.m. and the sunset at 6:42 p.m. Pretoria meestal bewolkt daar vandag with a high of 29 degrees and a low of 18 degrees. And then Joburg pleasant with intervals of clouds and sunshine with a high of 26 degrees and a low of 16 degrees. And then Cape Town, a passing shower in the morning, otherwise not as warm with periods of cloud and sun, with a high of 21 degrees and a low of 18 degrees. Next up will be your surf report, brought to you by Tina Dean Skryfbehoeftes and Deon Bosman from Victory Surf.
Good morning, Belito, and welcome to Wednesday morning's beach report. And we still have that easterly that came up yesterday. It's going to blow for the whole of today. And it's going to be one of those balmy, stinky hot days. So a lovely beach day today, not a cloud in the sky, and 27, 28 degrees. But light easterly breezes, which will peak at about 2 o'clock at around 18 knots. So it'll make it a bit messy. But we've got a westerly coming through this evening, which will definitely straighten up the surf late afternoon, and hopefully some good waves tomorrow. Enjoy your day at the beach. Have fun.
Voda paid.
You like queuing to pay electricity? Don't think so. Voda paid.
Wait, so I can use it?
Even if I'm on another network.
Vodapay.
Off to do the monthly
Shopping. It's done.
Really?
Yellow Coco.
And we get rewards.
We like sending and receiving money now. How about when the combos communicate?
Vodapay it. You like good times with friends? Vodapay!
Introducing Vodapay, the one app for anything and everything. Like it, Vodapay it.
Welcome back, everyone. And the part I always look forward to the most is we've got Neville from Ndlondlo Reptile Park back with us today. And I see you don't have any critters to scare the absolute life out of me like last week. I think the only presenter here that was squeaking the whole time. So I can just chill my nerves out a little bit today, I think. But I hear we're going to be busting some myths today regarding snakes. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay, phenomenal.
You know, busting myths helps to eradicate the fear.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So there's so many myths surrounding snakes. But you know, before we get into any of those, it's going to be a process, probably a 3-week process, chatting about various myths.
Okay.
But just to define what a myth really is, it's a hearsay story
It is.
from an uneducated source.
Yes.
But it starts with an observation that wasn't properly studied or investigated. And although we think of these myths like, oh, what a lot of thumbsuck, you know, but they all have their being out of some form of truth and just been misshaped.
And I suppose the more time that passes, the more warped the story likely gets to suit the situation.
Yeah, it's like that pass a message story, you know.
Yes, totally.
And so on. And us being in Ndlondlo, I'd like to start with the myth that started the name.
Okay.
Because that's our whole aim has been right from the beginning, to eradicate myths, to promote education and information. And Ndlondlo refers to a mambo with a feather on its head, thought through most tribes to be a separate species from the common. And it literally exists from where mambas start in South Sudan right down to Middle East Coast, Middle Transkei or Wild Coast. And every tribe has got their own variation of Ndlondlo. Ndlondlo is the Zulu one. And if you get back to what Ndlondlo is all about, the feather on the back of their head, I mean, we know that there's no snake that grows feathers.
No.
But it comes down to a shedding process.
Okay.
So what happens when the snake sheds its skin, it's going to start by lifting the skin on the top jaw first. So it'll rub its nose and its top lip on something. It lifts that skin up. And by the time that skin's stuck at the back of the head at an angle, it appears to be a feather.
Yes.
Now, the African people traditionally were terrified of snakes. I mean, you can understand why, because there was no hospital just behind the tree somewhere, you know. And so nobody was brave enough to actually go and investigate and see what it was all about. And of course, when the Westerners came in, they just said, oh, what a lot of nonsense, you know, and they just immediately discounted it. And nobody actually looked for the real reason or the real being of the story.
Yes.
So there's some truth, but it's not a different species.
It's not a different species.
Yes.
Snakes haven't learned how to sprout feathers at some point in history.
And of course, with it having the feather on the head gives it a distinction, and it makes it that very dangerous one to be about.
Yes, yes.
And all the stories of it haunting the stock herders wherever they go, learning to copy their whistles. And, you know, all the stock herders have a special whistle for their cattle or goats or whatever, and they'll respond to that.
Okay.
And so the myth goes that he'll go into the area and whistle like another stock herder, and when this one comes to see who's infringing on his grazing territory, then he'll strike him on the head.
Oh, wow.
And so that brings fear totally, you know.
Imagine, yes.
And that's basically how that myth came about.
Okay. Okay.
But there's another one that I'd like to touch on just quickly.
Go for it.
The tokolosh. The tokolosh is supposed to be a little guy who can sneak into your room no matter what your security is.
Okay, yes.
And when you speak to the real rural people, the westernized people are not that up to scratch with the story of the tokolosh. They do understand he's a small guy, but they don't know much more about that.
Yes.
But he's supposed to come into your room, jump on your bed, and put a spell on you.
Ooh.
And when you speak to the older tribesmen, they would tell you that it makes you very sick and gives you big sores and all that. And that's what the spell does. And when we look at that, we see that Mozambique spitting cobra bites do exactly that.
Okay. Okay. So that's how you figure out where the truth is between the myth and the truth, somewhere in the middle.
So that's where it is.
Okay.
And how do you eliminate a Mozambique spitting cobra from getting onto your bed? Is you put it on paintings or bricks or something to make it higher.
Yes.
You see?
Yes.
And that stops the tokolosh from putting a spell on you.
How exciting. I've never actually known that one before. But I've heard, again, I'm like one of the many people that have heard, like, raise the bed. And then that's about as far as my knowledge always went. That's phenomenal. How exciting. And I look forward to getting more into your myth busting of all things snake related as the month goes on. That's so exciting. Thank you, Neville.
Oh, super, Zoe.
Awesome. We'll see you soon. And y'all, stick around. We'll be back right after this ad break. Welcome back, everyone, and how exciting. We have Wakatravel. Maria, welcome back.
Thank you.
I'm always so excited to talk about all things holiday, because I haven't had a holiday, a proper holiday myself in years. Not since before I was married, because kids made it impossible. So hopefully I'll hopefully get to that soon. I think so, and you're jogging my memory on that. So that's awesome. But tell me, what are we talking about today? What is happening in the world of travel and for travel agents?
Okay. It is such an exciting time in travel after everything we've been through.
Definitely.
What an amazing time. I think the travel industry is back in
that's good.
full boom.
That's good.
Pretty much all the countries are, I think, definitely in the next 2 to 3 weeks, I think the whole of Europe will be open.
Oh, that's awesome.
Most of Europe is already open. The UK, USA, Thailand is open. We're just waiting for the others like Bali and all the other popular ones. All the island holidays are open. Seychelles, Maldives, Mauritius, everything.
That's phenomenal.
They're in huge boom. Actually, for the month of February, there was not a single resort that was available in Maldives.
Wow.
Not a single resort.
I'm so happy for them, though, for the travel agents and for the resorts and all of this, because after having such a dry spell, probably struggling to keep their places open, and now they're just packed to the gills. So the tourist industry seems to be coming back alive again.
I think it's quite a shock for everybody in the industry because, you know, it's literally gone from nothing to so much.
Yes.
And it's almost overwhelming.
I can imagine.
Wonderful as it is.
Yes.
So there's so much exciting stuff happening. So this is the time to travel. There is ridiculous specials. You can fly to Maldives for 7,000 Rand return on Qatar.
That's
you can
insane.
fly to Europe on 6,800 Rand.
Wow.
To Milan, to Greece, to everything.
So now's the time to book those tickets.
From Durban.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So it's pretty much the same whether you fly from Joburg or Cape Town or, So there's great deals on. And I'd love to encourage people, when you are thinking of a holiday, a lot of people come through to me and they say, oh, we just want to do this destination. And I think because travel is actually quite affordable now, which is absolutely great, you need to plan holidays, and I always like to suggest good value for money in terms of, like, if you're doing one destination, for instance, if you're flying to Europe, fly with Turkish Airlines and you get free stopover, for instance, in Istanbul, and you can actually just stop there for a few days. It's a free visa for South Africans. No cost, and you can actually just, I mean, Turkey is beautiful, and it's cheap, it's incredible shopping, so, but when the husbands go there, please do not give your wife's credit card. Very sorry about that. It is so amazing, and, you know, just going to Cappadocia and doing the hot air ballooning, and so it's a free stop.
Wow.
And then you can go on to another destination, and it's the same price. Or flying via Dubai and stopping to do the shopping there. I know there's the Expo on at the moment, or it's going to be on in March.
Okay.
So that's a fabulous thing to go to. And so there's just such incredible deals. And having traveled extensively myself.
You sound like you're speaking from experience. That's exciting.
Yes.
So jealous.
If people phone me for boring, going to one place, I'll always say, oh, let's just, what do we add this on? Or what, you know, and just.
Put a nice package together.
Yeah, and sometimes it's actually really not that much more. It's like 1,000 Rand more, and you're getting to see like a whole nother country.
Yes.
Or something, you know, and there's a lot of places that are so reasonable, you know, places like Turkey and Asia, and, you know, okay, those will open up soon, but it will be probably in the next month or so. And I think our travel bans are hopefully over now.
Yes, we are so done with that, aren't we?
Everyone, please get vaccinated.
Yes, we're so done with all the bans. It just needs to.
Wonderful.
We just want to live our lives now, don't we? Now, before we went on, I heard you mention something about a holiday factory.
Yes. Okay. So we've touched on quite a lot of amazing operators. Holiday Factory is such a great tour operator. They're a wholesaler operator that travel agents use. You can go to them direct, but it's the same price to use a travel agent, and you do want to use one because, especially over COVID times, we're going to give you the rundown of everything. Traveling today is not the same as it was before. You do not want to get the wrong documentation. Every country has its own stuff. Some need PCR tests, some needs only antigen, some needs passenger locator forms, some don't. Some you have to have the test 2 days after. To try and get that information is so difficult, whereas we have first-hand apps for travel
accurate
agents.
information though. There's a lot of misinformation, I suppose, and it's so confusing. Trying to plan it all yourself would be exhausting. Goodness.
And traveling in general is, you know, there's a lot of variables, and you want to have a friend along the way if something goes wrong.
Yes.
If anybody knows, booking on the internet, and I've seen so many people come through to me in the last year and a half where they've booked stuff online. And no, it is not cheaper. We've had the discussion about this. Second of all, do you want to sit on the phone to change your ticket for 2 hours? Because that's what's going to happen. Whereas people just WhatsApp me, phone me, and it's done. 24 hours, it's or same
Everything
day,
is
it's
sorted.
done. So I think that's very, very important. Going back to Holiday Factory, they have 4 offices around the country, about 60 staff. They've been going for 10 years, and they specialize in mostly the island holidays. So it's Mauritius, Maldives, Seychelles, Bali, and Thailand.
Okay.
So they have got incredible deals. So they tailor make all the packages, 7 nights, 10 nights, all their 5 stars. They've got something for everyone's budget. They are just so incredible when it comes to tailor making things, and their service levels are just incredible. You'll see up on the screen we'll have amazing specials that are currently running together with Wakatravel. So give us a ring so we can put you onto some amazing destinations that they have. And yeah, we're excited.
I know, how exciting. I was actually discussing with my mom not a week or 2 ago that we are dying to go back to Egypt, to the Red Sea, because it's just one of the most beautiful beaches I've ever been to in my life. Just waiting for my kids to be at a slightly more manageable age. My 1.5-year-old just might make it hell. But yeah, I'll definitely need to look into that.
Yeah, and now when you go and do that, you have to do a 2-night stop or 3-night stop in Cairo, and you have to go do the pyramids and the Sphinx.
Yes, last time I did that I was 16. It would be lovely to go back.
Incredible.
We made the mistake of doing it in the summertime. It was 40 degrees. I cannot remember who those pyramids belong to. It's like, it was just the information fried out of my head.
Absolutely unbelievable are those pyramids.
Oh, they're beautiful. So spectacular. I can't wait to go back. It's going to be
Go to my Wakatravel site and have a look at all my Egypt photos as well.
I will. Oh my goodness, I'm just...
They're amazing.
I'm getting excited thinking about it. But thank you so much for coming in. Thank you so much for educating us. It's so nice to have people that can guide us, because as much as we want to travel, with all the confusion, it would be too complicated to do it ourselves.
Give us a ring and we've got something for everybody's budget, and we're just super excited to get everybody going and just having fun and building those family memories and couple memories, and just and now's the time to do it. And it's not about traveling now, you can even book for the end of the year, and we'll definitely get you all great deals.
Awesome, that's so exciting. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you next.
I'm Maria from Wakatravel Leisure and Corporate from Durban, Umhlanga. With over 20 years experience and 8 years of operation, we are so excited to see travel slowly opening up again after a long 18 months during these COVID times. We specialize in domestic and international worldwide travel and cater to the needs of each individual traveler's preference and budget. Excellent service is our #1 priority, so booking trips for special occasions, birthdays, honeymoons, anniversaries, be sure to know we will go the extra mile to make sure it's a memorable and unforgettable trip. So, whether you want to go to famous Mauritius, Seychelles, Maldives, we have the place for you. Do you want to go cruising the Med, the Caribbean? We've got the cruise lines for you and give you all the information you need to cruise the best holiday ever. Or do you want to go to Mexico, arriba? Whatever your heart desires, we have the place for you to go. Give Wakatravel a call on 031 562 0764 or find us on Facebook under Wakatravel Leisure and Corporate, where you can message, email or WhatsApp us anytime for your inquiries. We look forward to making your travel dreams come true, because travel is the only thing that we buy that makes us richer.
welcome back, everyone. We have Diane on the seat with us to talk about what is happening with the Rise Up movement.
It's very exciting. We are hosting an event on Saturday, the 5th of March, where we are raising funds for Rise Up. We are going to be hosting a 5-kilometer walk, run, bring your dogs, your kids, bring their bikes, where we will be starting at Concha and then doing a loop back to Concha. And yeah, hopefully having a sea of orange going through Belito.
Exciting. And this is called the Rise Up Run.
Yes.
I love the name.
Yes.
Easy to remember.
Exactly.
It's phenomenal. That's so exciting. And I mean, anyone who's been paying attention to what's happening online, we've seen so much happening with the Rise Up movement. I mean, you and Josh, who unfortunately isn't here today, I mean, there's just so much happening, and there's so much awareness being raised, which is absolutely phenomenal. And of course, we spoke about the run happening, but I believe that we're also looking into raising funds for the Safe House. Is that right?
Yes, so the actual movement, Josh approached me to come up with an idea to create a fundraising campaign. Just to backtrack, you know, obviously when Belito went through the rioting and our mini lockdown, the community came together so beautifully, and we stood our ground and we said that, you know, Belito's, we're not letting anybody in.
Yes.
So when I spoke to Josh about the whole concept of why they're needing to raise funds, I said, well, this is the perfect community because everybody will come together and stand up against GBV and human trafficking. And so the long and short is that this area doesn't have a safe home for people that are in dire need. So Rise Up has got sponsors on board that have helped them acquire land, but now they need to build this home. And the home is amazing because it's not only about a safe place for people to go to, but it's for people to go to when they need it, and then they are going to be uplifted afterwards. So taught self-defense, taught the holistic healing, cooking, sewing, whatever they need to be able to go back into society and feel normal. So this, for me as a mother of daughters, it sits very, very close to my heart.
Of course.
So I had to jump on the opportunity. And the amazing thing is we're not going to do one event and do a one and done to raise funds. Obviously, the safe home is going to need continuous funds to come in.
Yes.
So we're going to do a series of events. We're going to do the Rise Up Run, and then we're going to do a Rise Up Ride. Go to Holla and get families and the community involved in doing something and living life actively, but by helping Rise Up.
That sounds phenomenal. And I know when Josh first told me, I think it must have been last year at some point, this has been on the books for quite a while, this Safe House. And I assume even when I spoke to him last, he was saying this needs to happen as soon as possible, because I'm assuming we have, well, gender-based violence especially, we have some ladies that really need somewhere safe to be, but also in the recovery process, because it's not just, you know, somewhere to keep them safe, it's somewhere to heal and be safe.
I think that's the most amazing thing about this place is that it you know, for children and women and men, it's a place where they can go to just be able to breathe, to be able to go to sleep with some feeling of safety, to be able to wake up with that same feeling, and then to be able to be surrounded by people that are just going to take them and uplift them. And that's why I love it so much, because we want to reach out to the community and we want to get everybody involved to help them. And that's why with the Rise Up Run, the sponsors that have come on board, how this town has pulled together is absolutely incredible. We have got the Endurance Lab, we've got Coached by Nix, Ordinarily Active, Tashby Pilates.
That's incredible.
Conchilla, Fiamma.
Awesome.
It's amazing how
That's
everybody
so
has
exciting.
just come together to just say, like, we don't stand for this, and we are coming together to help whoever needs help.
That's phenomenal. And what's great about the people that need this help, it's the unity, and they're going to see that we've got your back. And it's...
Well, IPSS, I had a chat with Brennan yesterday, and he, you know, said to me how we're going to just have this sea of cars and guards and everybody. And I think that's the amazing thing is on a 5-kilometer route, on any, for the runners out there, they'll know, they normally have water stations along the way. I think literally every 5-10 meters, you're going to have a water table because of how the sponsors are just coming together saying, we want to get numbers out there. And I think that's the biggest thing, is we want numbers. It's an 80 Rand entry fee, and the more we have, the merrier. And I've got friends in Joburg that are also coming to the table saying, well, we'll run in Joburg, but we're going to bring your entry fees your way.
That's
so
phenomenal.
it's such an awesome initiative. And that's why when I met with Josh, he's such an incredible human being. And to take on something like this, where the minute you mention GBV or rape or human trafficking or anything like this, your immediate reaction is, oh, I don't even want to talk about it, and then you move on to the next thing.
It's like a black spot. No one wants to discuss it.
No one wants to discuss it. So, yeah, we need to rise up. We need to stand up. We need to all come together to fight it.
That's phenomenal. And I love the work that you and Josh are doing. It's absolutely phenomenal. I mean, he blows my mind every time I talk to him. He's just so passionate about it.
Yeah.
And I think it's great also for gender-based violence to have a man standing up and be like, excuse me.
But
it's phenomenal. I love it.
Exactly that. He is just an incredible human being, and I think it's been amazing as well with the sponsors that are a part of this event. We've got big, strong men that are standing up saying, no, like, we'll come together and do it. So, and that's why I encourage dads to come out with their kids, and we
set the
mustn't
example
shy
for their
away.
daughters.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. That's phenomenal, Dad. You always said all online to treat your daughters like a princess, because then she'll expect nothing less for the rest of her life. And I was lucky my dad was like that with me as well. And I was always daddy's girl.
Amazing.
But that's phenomenal. Thank you so much for joining us. And I look forward to hearing how your run goes, and hopefully whenever
Seeing you there.
Hopefully, we'll see. I already just started gymming again, so I might pass out halfway
We can
there.
walk it.
Just drag me down the road. That'll be fun.
Done.
Oh
No
my
problem.
goodness. Phenomenal. And we'll be hearing about your Rise Up run soon as well.
Yes,
and
thank you
hopefully
so
next time you come back, Josh can also join us.
Absolutely. He's
Phenomenal.
busy doing
all the big work that keeps all of this going.
Exactly.
Phenomenal. Thank you so much for
Thank
everything that
you.
you do. The community is so grateful, and we are behind you 100%. Thank you. Awesome. Welcome back, my glorious people, and we are here with Sharon and Michelle, and we're going to be talking about Mindfit Academy. Welcome, ladies.
Hello, nice to be here.
Awesome, thank you so much. Well, welcome back to Sharon, and welcome. This is your first time in the studio, Michelle?
Yep.
Awesome. Well, welcome. I hope you enjoy yourself here. Right. Awesome. So, tell me, Sharon, what is Mindfit Academy? What are we discussing today?
Well, you know, people have listened to us talking about Mindfit Academy many times, but it's so lovely to get another opportunity to tell you what it is that we're up to. So Mindfit Academy is really all about helping people to discover who they are. You know, we heard earlier it's the month of love, and obviously the self-love that you have for yourself is really important when you want to go and give it to another person. You can't give what you do not have. And Mindfit Academy is all about using the most important principles of mind, consciousness, and thought to help people to navigate their lives. When you understand that you basically live your life according to the way that you feel, and that's the driving force behind everything that you do, it makes perfect sense for you to find out how that works. And so the human psyche, unknown to most people, we feel that what's happening out there has the ability to affect us inside here. But it's really the other way around. The way that you are in here actually affects what's going on out there. And it sounds so weird if you don't really understand the principle. So, you know, we go about our lives and we say, yeah, this person, this thing, this situation is what affected me. But in reality, it's not the situation, it's your response to the situation. And that is where the feeling comes in. And so if you are constantly at the mercy of what it is that you're thinking, then it makes sense that you're going to navigate your life in a very negative way.
Yes.
But if you listen to the feeling, if you feel the feeling, that is the indicator of the quality of your thinking. Not what's going on out there, what the person did or what the situation is, but the way you responded to it. So there's always a choice to be made in a situation like that. And I brought Michelle along today because Michelle is one of our graduates from the Academy, class of 2021.
Awesome.
And she lives in Mozambique and she's visiting, and I thought, what a lovely opportunity for us to hear what she's up to after her graduation.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Michelle. Thank you so much for coming to chat to us about this. Well, what can you tell me about how Mindfit Academy was for you?
Wow. I can just say to everyone that I speak to, it was the biggest gift that I could have given myself. And the honor of having Sharon as my mentor. I can actually say that in the last year, my life has done a 360.
That's phenomenal.
Times all the 360s that you can ever do.
That's incredible.
I joined the Mindfit. I actually phoned Sharon the one day, help, you know, I was just in a really dark moment where I just picked up the phone and I just asked for help, and I was waiting for her to tell me what it is I need to do and, you know, fix me, because we always think that someone else out there is going to fix you and tell you because she's the guru, she knows everything.
Yes.
And she says, oh, funny you calling, I'm starting this course next week. And I was like, what is she telling me this for? Anyway, I joined the course, and from the first lesson on Mindfit, just the awareness and the unfolding of all the everything that I had been creating for myself, and that I'd been living every day of my life to please the outside, make my kids happy, make my husband happy, work hard, and not put me, the self-love that came up this morning was a really beautiful part of it for me. But just realizing that my own feelings that no one else can create apart from me was creating what was happening to whatever was going on around me. And so every lesson, I mean, it was just so beautifully done. It was almost a metamorphosis that I've been through in the last year.
That's incredible.
And with everything, from the way I naturally just started to lose weight, I just naturally became calmer. My business opportunities, they just keep dropping. And from what I took a lot out of the Mindfit is the science of it. So my own frequency that I create, not that anything around me was creating.
Wow.
And the higher my frequency got, the more magic was starting to unfold in my life.
That's incredible.
And just the basic principles that Sharon has handed us, and I can talk for myself and this beautiful family of Mindfit coaches that we've made. It's just been nothing short of magic. And every day I'm living now for me first, from here, and everybody around me. It's been like a ripple. Everybody around me is feeling it and seeing it.
Yes, and it reflects on your family.
On everything, you know, just having a basic, I'm around a lot of people. I have a restaurant in Mozambique, and I'm constantly in contact with people, whether it's my employee or whether it's a client or whether it's, you know, just one sentence in dropping something of what I've been taught to share this beautiful information and knowledge and just practice. You know, people are just coming back and saying, wow, you know, it's not that complicated, but we make it complicated.
Yes.
So being given the tools and the principles that I've learned over the last year, sure, Sharon, I'm forever grateful. I'm so grateful.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and she has a beautiful story to tell. You know, she does amazing work. And, you know, we want to really get teenagers involved in this and help them so that we're starting younger. And what Michelle is talking about, the frequencies, the energy, you can feel the energy coming from her. She's excited about life. You know,
so much passion.
Does it mean that life is not happening? Of course it's still happening. But it's happening in a way that you can see through the illusion that it's being created from there. It's not. It's being created from here. Only, ever, always from here. Not from out there. Life is going to happen anyway. You know, you can't control it. So what's out of your control is out of your control. But there's so much that's within your control. And if you understand that, it's so simple, Zoe. You know, this is really my mission, is to let people understand. Do you know how simple it is to live a life of abundance, of love, of generosity, of kindness, of all of the wonderful things, the happiness that you're looking for, you already have. There's nowhere to go and find it. It came with you. You were born with it.
Yes.
And it's inside of you. And the only thing that's happened is that people have lived in a way that they've had all these layers and all of the false premises and beliefs and ideas of how life is supposed to be lived. It's supposed to be lived from the way that you were designed to let it be. And if you can just let it be and be okay with what is showing up in your life, you will be guided.
Yes.
That's a guarantee. And Mindfit really, really covers that in a very unique way. We've got a program coming up now on the 24th of Feb. We're taking students, and it goes for 10 weeks, and then we carry on with the level 2 for coaches. So the awakening program for anyone. You'll learn the principles that Michelle was alluding to, and then thereafter we go on if you want to become a coach, if you want to help your family, if you want to help yourself, if you want to help your employees, if you want to help your staff. It doesn't matter who it is. If you really want to make a difference, it starts with you.
That's incredible.
That's the foundation.
And I love how you say it's simple. And I think given the fact of the last few years how chaotic everything is, the idea of simplifying life to everybody might seem quite far-fetched. But
this is true.
It is. And then if you could just simplify life just down to what's most important, I suppose.
Absolutely.
And we see the transformation here.
Totally.
Absolutely phenomenal.
Totally beautiful.
That's so exciting. Awesome. Well, before we close up, is there anything else that you ladies would like to discuss? Or how can people get a hold of you to get involved?
Well, Mindfit Coaching Academy, www.mindfitlifecoaching.com, or Sharon Castle Coaching. You can get a hold of me, and I will put you in contact with Michelle. She's running a retreat in March.
It's
going to be with dolphins and yoga and what do you call it? Deep diving. What do you call that thing?
Free diving
and beautiful things. So, you know, that's coming up. We've got lovely programs coming up for anyone that wants to be involved with us. We welcome everyone, you know, all the way from children all the way through to, you know, anybody. So we're there and we're local and we're the community. So get hold of us.
That's incredible. And I think this is exactly what people need at the moment, especially. We're trying to settle back into life, and it's just from chaos to trying to find some kind of form of peace. And I think we're all kind of craving that at the moment.
Well, what do most people want? Happiness and contentment. And you have that within you. You can do it for yourself.
Definitely. I agree with you 100%. That was so educational. Thank you so much. I look
you.
forward to seeing what you do and hopefully having you back again soon to chat more about this. And it fits perfectly well with it being February. It's the month of love. Learning how to love yourself, look after yourself, And then you can give it back to your loved ones.
Exactly, Zoe.
Phenomenal. Thank you so much,
Thank
ladies.
you.
Namaste.
All right, everyone, that sums up our show for today. We are going to be, of course, ending on our music video by Stefan, Jansen, and I must, of course, thank all of our guests, our viewers, our sponsors, and everybody for making this possible. Well, we will see you again soon. Be safe, be happy. Thank you.
Tussen jou serp en jou oë het ek vergeet hoe die liefde soms lesse leer. Ek het jou geglo, jy was 'n kind, jy het my gevolg, maar ek was blind, gesing op die kadens van wind en weer. En as ek jou onthou, dan sien ek jou dans deur my hande. En elke keer as dit gebeur, dan voel ek jou hier. En as ek weer kon kies, sou ek weer probeer. Niemand sal my keer nie. Ek was elke keer verliefde en elke keer vir jou, as ek jou onthou. Ek dink my weerkaatsing het my mislei, drome van groen safiere en jy, ek weet daar was waarheid in jou en my, net te laat die antwoord gekry. En as ek jou onthou, dan sien ek jou dans deur my hande. En elke keer as dit gebeur, dan voel ek jou hier. En as ek weer kon kies, sou ek weer probeer. Niemand sal my keer nie. Ek was elke keer verliefde en elke keer vir jou, as ek jou onthou. Jy het my geleer wat geluk is, dis iets wat gelukkig vir altyd by my sal wees. En as ek jou onthou, dan sien ek jou dans deur my hande. En elke keer as dit gebeur, dan voel ek jou hier. En as ek weer kon kies, sou ek weer probeer. Niemand sal my keer nie. Ek was elke keer verliefde en elke keer vir jou, as ek jou onthou. Ek was elke keer verliefde en elke keer vir jou, as ek jou onthou.